What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Thursday, March 17th, 2022. It's St. Patrick's Day. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup. There is nothing Irish about this tea. It is neither Irish tea nor Irish tea. There's no whiskey in this. In fact, I think I'm off alcohol for almost the next month. So that'll be interesting. How are you? How was your Wednesday? We're not going to get into it, but I hope it was better than mine. We'll just say that. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning to all of you, whether you're watching live or later or listening. Thanks for joining me. Yeah. Yesterday was a productive day. It did not end well. It will be okay. I am safe. I am fine. I just don't really want to talk about it. But I know it's going to discolor my disposition. So I just want to acknowledge it. Because you'll tell. You'll be able to tell. Jeremy's off today. Yeah, he is. But he'll be okay. Today, I don't have a ton that I have to do today. There's a bunch that I should do, could do. I'll probably do about half of it. I'm probably going to do the bare minimum and just have kind of my version of a mental health day. Just, you know what? Taking care of me today. It's interesting that I have to double check my dates, but I mentioned that I'm going on this, let's call it a retreat. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but anyway, and some of the conditions in there involve no alcohol for a period of time beforehand. And I need to double check my dates because I think it starts today. That's what I had in my calendar, but we'll double check. So yeah, no booze on St. Patrick's Day. That's interesting. Oh, good morning, Jenny. Oh, I can go back to bed. Did you all see that the Senate, the most divided group of people on the planet who can't do anything without complaining about it, like 100 petulant children, unanimously agreed to make daylight savings time permanent? That kind of blows my mind. Now, I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just surprised that there wasn't somebody somewhere, I don't know, taking money from a clock industry organization, something. There must be somebody somewhere that makes money on daylight savings time, and I'm surprised that this happened. So that's fingers crossed that it actually. We don't need to change our clocks. Just the sun moves, the earth moves. It's fine. Get used to it. Oh, it's insane. It's utterly insane. There's I didn't see it this year, but there's a great quote that I see circulate, and it's attributed to a Native American leader. And it says something like, only the white man thinks that he can cut the top off of a blanket, sew it to the bottom of a blanket, and have a longer blanket. And I love the imagery of it. I love the words. I love it's so true. It's St. Patrick's Day. Frank gave us some St. Patrick's Day quotes. I've got my favorite. I've got my Irish blanket that I'm sitting under. I've got which has an Irish blessing on it. I've got an almost identical version of that on here that I'll read when we get to it. My blackthorn cane is in my bedroom. Did any of you know that I'm a Murphy? I am 1/8 Irish. I'm a Murphy. I've only been to Ireland once. Growing up in New England, like there's such a deep, the Irish roots are so deep. St. Patrick's Day parades get kind of nuts in some towns, cities. Yeah, it's. I'm proud of my heritage, of all of my heritage. But St. Patrick's Day is interesting. Stacey asks, "Am I a dropkick Murphy?" No, but I like the band. They're they're pretty cool. Good morning, Brian. Dennis says he makes money on the time change. My wife gives me a nickel for every clock I change. That's a trip. I like that. Andrew and I had a great call yesterday about All In Weekend. And, you know, lately when I've had the time, and this is a good example of that, I've looked at a thing, whatever the thing is, and I've tried to lay out a framework. So in the case of All In Weekend, we had the framework of how many days. And then Andrew and I put together a chart for ourselves. How much of different kinds of things should there be? And we took the number of hours, and then we looked at, okay, where do people have to, sleep? Everybody gets to sleep at least 2 hours a night, right? Like if you don't sleep 2 hours, things go badly. So we factored that in. How many hours of each of these types of training do we want? And so we put that in there, and then we talked about certain things. And then yesterday, we talked about a few specifics. And because we had those other parameters laid out, most of it just fleshed itself out. Just went, and it was just there. And it was really great. And I'm proud of what we've put together. We're going to have another meeting next week after we digest more and we make some adjustments. But it's 85% there. We honestly, with what we have now, and we are, 5 weeks out, 6 weeks out, we could do nothing training prep wise on the training between now and then and step in and we'd be fine. We're not done because we will over deliver on this, and there's some stuff that he and I need to work on together in person, but it's going to go great. Those of you coming, you're going to have a great time. Those of you not coming, you're missing out, and hopefully you'll be there next year. What else happened yesterday? I did not have the call with the salesperson that I thought I was having. That's on Friday. I had a call with a potential client, somebody who what they're trying to do would be a lot of fun. Has nothing to do with martial arts, but it would be a lot of fun. I don't think they're going to go forward. I just got that vibe. They're kicking tires. Most people, here's the thing about business. Most people don't actually do it. Most people don't pull the trigger. I posted yesterday. Yesterday was Small Business Development Center Day. And as a member of the board of directors for the Vermont Small Business Development Center, I've been on this board for like a decade. I was asked at our recent board meeting, everyone was asked, hey, SBDC Day is coming. Can you please share something? So I shared something on my Facebook page and encouraged people. And I encouraged them, if they had an idea, just whatever, just contact the SBDC. And it was interesting. There's somebody, and you can go read this post. I don't believe she would ever see this. I'm not calling her out by name, and I'm not certainly not disparaging her. But she posted a comment that was very similar to what I see from a lot of people. Once I do this thing, then I'll get started. If you've ever owned a martial arts school, you've heard that many, many times. As soon as I lose these 5 pounds, once my kids get into this grade, once this, soccer season is over, once I get back from vacation, why wait? People wait on things because it makes them feel comfortable not achieving in that time. And so many people keep kicking that can down the line because the longer they do it, the longer they can justify not having the results. Happens in martial arts, happens in health, diet, nutrition, exercise, stuff happens all over the place. And so my response to that was, well, even if you're not ready, having a conversation just takes a little bit of time. Go talk to your local SBDC. It may help frame your mindset. It will likely help you move faster earlier. There's no harm there. But she's not going to do it. In fact, she's probably never going to do it. That's okay. This is someone who's known me since I was 6, 7 years old. She's not going to take my advice. That's okay. Oh, tea. Lemon ginger tea. I think I'm completely off caffeine, so like the black tea isn't going to happen. At one point, there's no meat. Basically, I'll be down to like fruit and vegetables and eggs. No salt and pepper. It was very restrictive for like the week before. It was incredibly restrictive. And I had a thought this morning as I was looking at my tea, because I reached in the cabinet blindly and pulled out the black tea. I'm like, I don't think I can have that today. And I had this thought. I was like, what if the dietary restrictions are because they're barely going to feed us? And they're going to feed us like the simplest, boringest, most boring, cheapest food. And they're trying to get us used to it. No caffeine because we don't want to buy coffee. Your tea is dirt and water. Get used to it. Probably not, but who knows? All right. Time to talk about what you want to talk about. Jenny asks, Soylent Green? That seems like that would be the opposite end of the spectrum. I can't rule it out. Haven't been there yet. Have a great day yourself, Andy. All righty. Shout out to Frank, as always, for making sure I got stuff to talk about. Today's St. Patrick's Day. Here are 3 Irish sayings. And I have heard one of, actually, I don't think I've heard any of these as they are. May your blessings far outnumber the shamrocks that grow, and may trouble avoid you wherever you go. I like the sound of that. I think a lot of my favorite sayings, it's the wording. And when I read this one to you, I think you'll hear it. There's a poetic element to it. You know, the rhyming of grow and go, I think is pretty cool. Oh, yeah. It's getting lighter. It was warm yesterday. I pulled almost another half gallon of sap off the trees. I'll probably do some more boiling today, especially if it ran overnight. It's going to be 65 degrees today. I'm getting out of here. I think I'm going to try to get up to Burlington, maybe hang out on Church Street, because it's going to be really nice, really warm. People be out. Yeah, I might do that. We'll see. Number 2, everyone's at least a little bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day. How true, how true. That statement always reminds me of the movie Boondock Saints. If you've ever seen it, it's an incredibly violent movie, has nothing to do with martial arts. I think it would be a tremendous stretch to say that there's even martial arts in the film. It's very violent, but in one of the opening scenes, there's a confrontation. And one of the main characters says, just sit down with us and have a beer. You know, it's St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's Irish tonight. and it escalates from there. If you've seen it, you know. Great film. Stacy says Soylent is a protein drink now. How bizarre! It is. So Soylent, for those of you who don't know, Soylent is a company um, that can't tell you why. I have a little bit of inside information on. They are not a client of mine. The concept of Soylent was okay, hey, there are a bunch of people who work really, really hard, and taking time away from work to eat meals is cumbersome. So, what if we make a nutritionally complete meal replacement? It's a great concept. But in order to get the price where it needed to be, they use some of the lowest quality vitamins and minerals, stuff that just doesn't get absorbed. It They pitch it as something that you could live on theoretically indefinitely. That is not possible. You are going to have deficiencies and get sick if you live on this stuff. Now, as like an alternative to like a slim fast or whatever, yeah, I could definitely see it because it's it's certainly portable, it's fast, you don't have to heat it, it's shelf stable. Like there are a lot of great things about it, but you probably shouldn't have more than one a day on these. Anyway, as far as I know, it's not made with people. Stacy says, I have a green bottle of Soylent on my desk shelf at work merely to make people laugh. I love that. All right. And last one here. When Irish eyes are smiling, they're probably up to something. I asked everybody in the Facebook group yesterday what their favorite cheese was. I figured that would be a really easy one for everyone to comment on. I got I got two people. Dennis gave me two comments. One is not about cheese. And Jason, I'm going to read Jason's here first. Shout out to Jason. Haven't seen you on here in a bit. I was getting ready to go on tour and had a gathering before we left. I made some food and had some tortilla chips, but nothing to go with them. I had cream cheese, sour cream, and random leftover block cheeses in the fridge. I threw them in a pot on low heat and created the best nacho cheese sauce ever. Sadly, I don't even know what kinds of cheese were in the pot. I'm going to guess that what made it truly amazing was the sour cream. Sour cream is just this weird ingredient that makes, in the right ratio, makes everything better. Now, with something like a cheese sauce, it'd probably be really hard to have too much sour cream. Sour cream plus salsa plus cheese, you can mix all those together with really good results. The guac, you got to keep the guacamole separate. It just doesn't work when it's all mixed in there. But the cheese, the sour cream, the salsa, those can go together easily, and it's delicious. Don't sleep on the sour cream. Dennis's response: mozzarella all day, every day. Mozzarella is such an interesting cheese. I like. Can you tell I like cheese? I really like cheese. Fun fact: my college girlfriend, who I moved to Vermont with, when we got to Vermont and the price of vanity plates became so much less expensive. She grew up in Massachusetts. A vanity plate here is like $30 a year. Like it's so cheap. Uh, Her vanity plate was ILKCHC. I like cheese. And I remember lengthy discussions as she was trying to figure out what she wanted her vanity plate. She knew she wanted a vanity plate. She didn't know what she wanted it to be. Stacy says Gouda is her favorite. Now on the mozzarella side, I've I grew up with very bland mozzarella. I thought that's what mozzarella was supposed to be. But as an adult, I've had some, let's say, higher end mozzarella. Holy cow, that's a better cheese. Oh, it's so good. You can just eat it and it's tasty. And cheese is so good. It really is. Gouda was my favorite cheese as a kid. I would say my favorite now is cheddar, but I like most of them. I don't like moldy cheese. None of very few of the blue, the soft cheeses have I found to be tasty. A baked brie is nice. Cheese. I have no cheese in my fridge right now. No, that's not true. So here, do you want? I'm going to tell you anyway. Don't underestimate the value of like grated Parmesan cheese on food, even on things where you would normally use other cheese. You get some cheese flavor, very few calories. If hot sauce, I think is like the best like flavor enhancer versus calories. Grated cheese, probably second. Jenny's favorite cheese is Swiss. Since going dairy free, I have not been able to find a decent version of Swiss quote cheese. Sad face. And she wrote sad face. She didn't put a sad face emoji. She wrote it. Dennis has a question here for us that he pulled from Black Belt Magazine. Oh, and I want to shout out Sam Diaz. This was all over Facebook yesterday. I'm really proud of him. Sam Diaz, who's been on the show recently, Sam and his brother Angel. It was one of the first video episodes we released. Actually, did we release a video? Anyway, great conversation. I respect the hell out of this guy. Was added to Team Paul Mitchell. For those of you who follow sport martial arts, you know that Team Paul Mitchell is the team. There are plenty of other teams, but everyone aspires to get on Team Paul Mitchell. Team Paul Mitchell, sort of based in New England, in that Don Rodriguez out of Rhode Island, Christine Bannon Rodriguez, husband, has been the coach of Team Paul Mitchell for a very long time. We've had quite a few Paul Mitchell veterans on the show, but Sammy was named to the team. And good on him. He's been working his tail off the last 5-6 years and definitely deserves this. Pump for you, man. So Dennis's question, borrowed from Black Belt Magazine post: at your next martial arts tournament, would you prefer to be a spectator, judge, or competitor, or photographer? And why? Well, I know Stacy's going to say photographer. Well, there's one coming up. When is that? Next weekend? There's one coming up that I'll be in the referee's chair. Because I always am. And most likely I'll be the head referee in the big ring, because that's where I usually end up at this tournament. That's totally fine. It's an honor to be given that responsibility, and I take it seriously. I enjoy all aspects. Spectating is tough. Spectating is tough because there's often more than one thing you want to look at that's going on at the same time. And that can be challenging. Which is why at tournaments where I'm not refereeing, I will stand in the middle where they tell people not to stand. But, you know, if you're around long enough, you can get away with things. I can get away with some things. And I'll stand kind of in the middle and just kind of like do slow circles until I see, oh, okay, I'll watch that person. And then I continue to spin in a slow circle. Okay, now I'll watch that person. Now I'll watch that fight. And now I'll watch. And I just kind of do that for hours. All right. So this blanket, I picked this up. There used to be a shop on Church Street in Burlington that was an Irish shop. And their whole specialty was that they had things that were Irish related to Ireland, Irish foods. You know, import stuff, right? It's a cool concept. It is now an adult products shop, that space. And the broad definition of adult products, not the singular one that you probably think of when I say that. No, but like think of all the things you have to be like 18 or over to buy. It's all those things. We have a chain of those in Vermont. Literally a chain of those stores. But I picked up this blanket there. I remember the day. I remember who I was with. It was my friend Kevin. He was visiting. These are friends I helped move to Pennsylvania, helped pack the truck. And I think it was like his first trip back. We were hanging out in Burlington, getting lunch, and saw this blanket. So I bought it. And I have this same thing. This came out of some of my father's stuff. Not in this round. I've had this for years. And I like this prayer. Prayer, blessing. There we go. It even says it's Irish blessing. I want to read Stacy's answer. Stacy says, photographer, as we knew she would, because I get to see everything I can. Only the host sees more people than I do, and I get to preserve the magic for families. She says, I likely get to see more of the tournament than anyone. That's cool. When you hear this, I want you to listen to the words and the way they flow. I'll do my best. May the road rise to meet you. May the road rise to meet you. That sounds funny in my ears. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. I have no idea how old this is, because ultimately we go really far back, right? Like Celtic traditions would not have used God quite in that way. It's likely a little more modern. But it flows, and if I was a little more focused, a little more with it, probably could have heard it better. But same thing here on the blanket. I like it because it's hoping that things just kind of go well, right? It's not, I hope you make a lot of money and your life is easy and your health is just, may the road rise to meet you, right? May the wind be always. These are very simple things. It's just like, I hope things go okay. It's incredibly realistic instead of suggesting, oh, I hope that you win the lottery. Just may the sun shine warm upon your face. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Friday. Looking forward to that. Thanks for coming by. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.